this is one of the important training pieces that, that we run during the course of the year. And we've heard this message before, however, it's an important message, and like anyone else, if you hear from different people, some things settle in when you hear from someone else other than who we're used to hearing it from, or from doing our GCN training. So we have two people here from the Camden County Prosecutor's Office, Angela Satius and Sonia Furlow. So Sonia, do you want to just stand up and say hi to everybody? And Angela is right up front, and they're going to lead off this faculty meeting. So please pay close attention and make sure you sign in today, because this is credit towards a training, okay? So make sure you see your lead teacher. Thank you, and here's Angela.
Good afternoon. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me without the microphone? Okay. All right, my name is Angela Satius. I'm an assistant prosecutor in Camden County. I'm assigned, or I run the special prosecutions unit in that office. What does the special prosecutions unit do? We prosecute public officials, okay? So anyone taking a public paycheck, cops, firemen, teachers, okay? We are the ones who investigate conduct that they have done or alleged to have done, and we determine whether there is a need to charge them criminally, okay? The reason why I'm here is to talk about your reporting requirements. You all work in a school, you're in contact with how many thousands of students. You need to be reminded of the importance of understanding your reporting requirement when it comes to taking in any type of complaint or hearing an allegation by a student. These are the applicable statutes, okay? When I'm looking at a case involving a teacher or some type of faculty member, an administrator, I'm looking at these statutes, okay? Title IX is the abuse and neglect statute, okay? That defines essentially what child abuse is. Why do we care about child abuse? Well, because the statute's written quite broadly, okay? You can thank legislators for that. We can pretty much fit in any type of conduct, okay, that happens to a student or a child in this statute, okay? I'm not going to read it, but there's the statute, NJSA Title 9:6-1. Child abuse defined at 9:6-8.9. An abused child means a child under the age of 18. So most, if not all of your students that you come in contact with would qualify under this statute, okay? You read it down further, subsection A, an abused child means a child under the age of 18, whose parent, guardian, or other person having custody or control. Okay? That other person having custody or control could mean you. Inflicts or allows to be inflicted physical injury, okay? Or, you read further down, talks about the physical or emotional health, active loss or impairment of a function of a bodily organ. That goes back to the physicality. Physical injury other than an accident. Commits or allows to be committed an act of sexual abuse against a child. Okay? This statute can be applied to you all. Okay? Let's get to your duty to report. So what are you reporting? Okay? Here is the charge that we actually can and have in the past charged teachers, faculty members with. Any person having a reasonable cause to believe that a child has been subjected to a child abuse or acts of child abuse shall report the same immediately. Not the next day, not the next week, not the next month. Immediately to DCPP. That's DIFUS. You all have that responsibility. You have that obligation. You have that duty. If you fail to do that duty, then you're going to have an issue. Okay? Now, I'm going to give you a hypothetical. Let's say a student comes to you, confides to you that they have a friend in school who has been sexually assaulted by a parent. Okay? What do? Call DCPP. Okay? You don't launch an investigation of your own. You don't then tell 3 other people. Okay? You have an obligation to contact DCPP. If you fail to do that, there could be an issue for you down the road. Okay? And that's when my unit gets involved and we determine whether there has been a criminal act or not. The criminal act being you failing to report. Okay? You letting that child go back home if, hypothetically, the abuse was happening at home. What if you don't report? Any person knowingly violating the provisions of this act, including the failure to report having to report an act of child abuse having reasonable cause to believe that an act of child abuse has been committed, is guilty of a DP. Child abuse can mean anything. Physical injury, sexual abuse, emotional abuse. It can mean anything. Okay? It is not up to you to determine, well, let me ask some more questions, let me do some internal investigation, let me talk to the other teacher, let me talk to the student, let me talk to the student's friends. You're not supposed to do that. Okay? You have to report. What happens if you don't? I can charge you with a disorderly persons offense. Okay? Disorderly persons offense is subject to 6 months in jail. Okay? Probation, fines. It's going to mean your job, too. Okay? What else can we charge? If we come to know that a child, a student disclosed something, you knew this information, you did nothing with it. We can also charge you with official misconduct. It's a second-degree offense. A second-degree offense in the state of New Jersey carries a sentence of 5 to 10 years in prison. Okay? Official misconduct, okay, for public officials in the state of New Jersey is an automatic 5 years in state prison. Do the full 5 without parole. Okay? I can tell you some defendants that we see who commit stabbings and other hellacious crimes sometimes don't get that punishment, 5-5. That's a very heavy hammer. Okay? That can be charged for just failing to report. Endangering the welfare of a child, okay? That can also be charged as well for failing to report. Okay, so let's say you receive an allegation, you do nothing with it. I can charge you with the DP. I can charge you with a 3rd degree endangering the welfare of a child because let's say the allegation is this child's being abused at home. You let that child go back home. You do nothing. You don't call DCPP. You don't call police. You're allowing that child to continue to be harmed. Does anybody have any questions so far? Is everyone tired? What if I don't report an abuse? You're going to be charged with a crime. We've done it in the past. We do it now. You will lose your job, okay? You will forfeit public office, okay? So your ability to take a pension from the state of New Jersey, gone. Your pension can be impacted, okay? These are all very serious consequences. Now I know, first time I gave this lecture, I had people raise their hand. Well, what if it's a rumor? What if I'm wrong? What if this student isn't necessarily an honest person and made it up? What if? We don't care. You report it. You have an obligation as teachers, as faculty. You have an obligation. If it's a rumor, if it's not true, we'll figure it out. DCPP will figure it out. It's not up to you to parse through the information and figure what's true, who do we believe. It's not. You don't want to involve yourself that way. Okay? What if Let's say the allegation involved a teacher. Let's say this was an allegation that a teacher and a student were having an inappropriate relationship. You get wind of this because you hear it from a student who heard it from another student. You better report it. What if it's a rumor? Who cares? What if the teacher sues? Who cares? Okay? What if it's not a rumor? What if it's true? Are you prepared to accept that consequence? If it is true and you're allowing that abuse or that relationship, knowing that it's wrong to continue? Okay? Don't worry about the teacher's reputation or the other side. If a student or anyone comes to you with an allegation of child abuse, you must report it, always. DCPP, local PD, my office. Okay, I'm getting a lot of calls, and we have a specific unit set for child abuse. It was called Child Abuse Unit, now it's called Special Victims. Okay, Special Victims handles these calls all the time. I handle these calls all the time, from superintendents, from principals. Hey, listen, this is what I've got. What do you think? Okay, I think we're going to call DCPP. I think we're going to get somebody down there to take some statements. It's always better to err on the side of safety. Believe the student, make the report. Okay? What if let's say back to the teacher hypothetical. Let's say it's an inappropriate relationship between a student and a teacher. What if they say sue? Who cares? You have immunity. Okay? Anyone acting pursuant to the act, making a report under this act shall have immunity from liability. So if you're wrong, the other teacher, that target, may be mad, but oh well, you still have your job, you have your pension, keep your house. You don't have to look for a new job. Who conducts the investigations of child abuse? Not you. Not the administration here, not faculty members. No, you're not treating allegations of child abuse as a HIB. You're not treating it, you're not doing an internal investigation. You're not going to just ask some questions and then you're going to figure it out later if you have to report it or not. You report it immediately. You have a duty, you have an obligation. It can be a crime if you don't. Local PDs get involved. Okay, a lot of cases we get come from the local PDs. They call us immediately. CCPO, that's us. Okay? You want to make the referral to DCPP immediately. You want to make a referral to law enforcement immediately. Okay, if you have a school resource officer, okay, you get that information to the proper authorities as soon as possible. There's my contact information. Does anybody have any questions? Anybody still real tired? Want you to stop talking? Yes.
If we report something to DCCP and the abuse continues, is someone else account as DCCP?
You've made your referral to DCPP.
Right. So I understand. I'm
You're good.
Right. I'm not worried about myself. I'm worried about the student. And say the student continues to be abused, is someone else being accountable?
If you come, in short, yes. Okay, because then it'll be DCPP. So let's say you come to know information that a child, a student is being abused in some way. You call DCPP and say, hey, listen, this is what I know. Go ahead. Okay, you've made that complaint. Now, we have a lot of schools that will call DCPP and the local PD. They do both. Okay. We have others that call just DCPP. DCPP will always contact our office, especially when it's an allegation of child abuse. Okay, we have an extremely close relationship with DCPP. Okay, so it's typically when you call DCPP, it is going to get to our office. In the event that it doesn't, and you find out a week later, maybe the student comes up to you and says that it's still ongoing. Then you call our office. You call me, because then I'll charge DCPP. I have in the past. Okay? Again, if you have information, you need to get it to the right authority. Okay? You don't want to be left, because guess what? You did the right thing in your hypothetical the first time by reporting it. Now you get more information saying that it's still ongoing. You're still gonna want to do something. You're gonna be like, this is wrong. This child can't be abused or continuing to be in an abusive situation. So again, that's when you call, if DCPP drop the ball, which they typically do not, but if they do, then you call my office, and we'll handle it.
So the law said under 18?
Under the age is considered a child in the statute. So most of the students that you have, I know that some students and seniors can be 18, okay, but most of the people attending this school are under the age of 18. So guess what? They fall under this statute. So if somebody's physically abusing them, if somebody's mentally abusing them, if they're in an inappropriate relationship with another teacher, a staff member, a faculty member, okay, that is information, okay, that makes them an abused child.
But what if they are 18?
If they are 18, then, well, it depends, honestly, it depends on the conduct, okay? So let's say this 18-year-old student is involved in a inappropriate relationship with the teacher. Make the call, absolutely. Why would you not make the call? You absolutely make the call, okay? Because that teacher is taking advantage of a student based upon the status, okay? And I know, I'm sure it's against policy for teachers to be dating students. So again, you get wind of something, you call somebody, you will report it. You don't want to be that person that doesn't report it. Any other questions? Yes?
What if a student comes to you and they tell you about a certain instance, but they don't give you like the name of the person involved? Like,
They don't have to. They don't have to. They can tell you, let's say,
that my friend is being abused, but I'm not going to tell you her name. Like, what do you do with that?
I would still report it. I would call DCPP and say, listen, this student, Sally, told me that another student is being abused at home. DCPP or my office or the local PD will follow up with that student to see if we can get more information. The whole goal here is to protect our students, okay? A lot of students, especially when they're victims of child abuse, feel afraid, scared. They don't know who they can trust. They don't know what the right course is, and it's really up to you because you guys deal with them more hours of the day than the parents do sometimes, most times. So it really is up to all of you to kind of keep an ear out and do what's right for our students. Any other questions? Yes?
My students are all 18 to 21 with significant disabilities.
Okay.
If there's an instance, do I call DCPP and they will refer to Adult Protective Services?
I would, you could call DCPP, okay? You can call our office, you can call the local PD, okay? Those are three options. It's not necessarily, in order, okay? But if it's something where you have a person who's 20 years of age, they're being abused, maybe you just want to call my office, maybe you want to call the local PD, and then follow up with DCPP. Any other questions? We're good? Was I fast enough? All right, thank you very much for your time and attention. I really do appreciate it. If you have any questions, hypotheticals, give me a call, okay? That's why I'm there. Or you could call Deputy Section Chief Furlow, too. She'll pick up the phone.